Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. This time I want to go over the Limit 1 Festival deck. Go over the deck that I've been playing and the choices I made. In the next video that I post, you'll see some of the duels, see how it's been playing. But the deck you see here on screen is the one that I'm using to try to grind the gems in the daily missions. So we're gonna have one. It's a Orchist Punk Mekk-knight deck. So of course you're gonna have the one Bombard, gets you an Orchist from your hand. Psychic Jumper is one of my favorite psychic utility monsters. If I have any other Mekk-knight that's just on the board, any of the punks that aren't doing anything, aren't going to go into any plays, I can swap it with the boss monster that you've made, that you've spent so much time investing into. Or I can just use that to eat up a negate. And then if that's not the case, I can use it to go into synchros, a level 9 synchro, level 10 synchro, level 8 synchro. So Maxi, you need to have it. Scrap Recycler helps you get your Orchis plays started. Ash Blossom, you need to have it. Symbol Skeleton, Orchis Symbol Skeleton is going to get you a Orchis from your graveyard. This is the Fusion Punk. I don't know how to say the actual name. Shara Kusei. So Fusion Punk lets you get into the fusion very easily, which is an extremely powerful card. Wagon lets you search a spell, but I don't run any of the spells. It's just an extra name so that the fusion can tutor out something from the deck. Madame Spider is probably the second best. It's the one that I like to see the best, but Madame Spider lets me get any trap. So it lets me get a destruction trap or a negate trap. The only one that's better in terms of at least level 3s, really probably at all, but the level 3s is the Xiamen, because it lets you search a punk monster. So it lets you get to the Madame Spider or this one, the fusion one. Those are the only ones that you want to search if you're searching for a level 3, or you want to search for one of the 2 level 8s. You have Orchis Heart Pourer. Lets you get a Orchis monster from your deck to the field. Girsu dumps an Orchis monster from your deck to your graveyard, or a World Legacy card, which is actually pretty strong. Mekk-knight Blue Sky lets you search for any of your Mekk-knights, and depending on the amount of monsters you have in the column. World Legacy World Armor lets you search for a World Legacy card and a 2500 body. Yellow Star can help you get rid of floodgates, but it's really just a level 7 body. Red Moon does help you get rid of monsters, but again, it's a level 7 body. Nightmare lets you ditch a card to the graveyard, as well as ditch a Orchis, to the graveyard and help your monsters gain a little bit of attack. The attack is negligible though. Then, of course, you've got your kaijus in case they set up something that's really outrageous, a Crooked Cook or a Raid Raptor, Ultimate Falcon, or anything like that you just can't get rid of. Indigo Eclipse is great with the World Legacy secrets, but also really strong because it's a level 8 that you can just special summon. Purple Nightfall is the card that you want to see in every single Mekk-knight deck. Helps you search for whichever one you need. It usually goes Purple Nightfall to Blue Sky to Girsu, and then to Indigo, and then whatever else you might need. Of course, if you play Mekk-knights, you already know the order of searches, but that's probably the most important card monster-wise in the deck. World Legacy World 1 lets you get an Orchis from your banished pile and special summon it onto the board. It also has an effect that if you have a World Legacy in your hand, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon that one from your hand, which does come up a couple times because I always have a World Legacy card in my hand. Foxy Tune is the level 8 that allows you to ditch another card in your hand to special summon a punk monster onto the board. Level 3 or lower punk monster. I guess when we get the new wave of support, it doesn't have to be the level 3 one, but it says any punk monster except for a level 8 one. So, and then Ogre Dance allows you to discard it to add, or sorry, send it to the graveyard from hand or field to add one punk monster from your deck to your hand, except for another level 8 monster. Nibiru is Nibiru. It's absolutely outstanding in this format, and it's limited to one format. Regeki, outstanding. Harpies, Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, World Legacy Succession, which is Monster Reborn number 2. Orchestrated Return, if you have an Orcus monster, it's Pot of Greed. Orcus or World Legacy monster. I actually never read that. I've always only tried to use it with Orcus, so how about that? Dark Ruler no more. Still necessary because people can put up ridiculous boards. You'll actually see a board that it helps. I think it actually helps me twice. Lightning Storm, which is a second Regeki or a second Harpies Feather Duster. Triple Tactics Talent is an amazing card. Orchestrated Babble turns all your Orcus into quick effects, which is very, very strong. Emergency Teleport helps you tie in your punk engine to whatever you need. It helps you get a synchro with your Mekk-knight, or helps you get a link monster going with your Orcus monsters, all types of stuff. Called by the Grave because you still need it. Forbidden Droplet because you still need it. Infinite Impermanence because you need it. Punk Dangerous Gaboo as a monster negate on board, and if you have a punk monster on your board, when you activate its effect, you gain life points to that monster's original attack. Very, very strong. Actually saves me in one of the duels. Nashiwari Surprise, Punk Surprise is a pop on the board. It is a face down destruction if you do not control a punk monster. If you do control a punk monster, you can destroy a face down or a face up card, which is ridiculously strong. Does it target? Yeah, it does target. That would be crazy. World Legacy Whispers allows you to negate a spell, also gain 1,000 attack to a level 5 or higher monster, but it's not necessarily ever, it's not used in any of the duels that I've used so far. It is a relevant search card if you happen to draw your other World Legacy cards, or you still have a lingering live on the board and you have another card to be able to set. And then World Legacy Secrets rounds out the actual main deck. It's a 42 card main deck. Onto the extra deck, we've got the Punk Fusion, and we got the Punk Fusion, and then we've got the Punk Synchro. The Punk Fusion allows you to rescue Rabbit 2 other punks from your deck and or hand to the field, except for level 8 monsters. They just have to be different named punks. So it's actually pretty good. And if it's used for a synchro material for a punk monster, it can, if it's used for a synchro material, you can target a punk and it can attack twice during that battle phase, which is pretty ridiculous. Crimson Blader because Sword Soul is still a thing. Invoked, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, so many big attack powered monsters. Hell, even Mekk-knights, you play against someone else playing Mekk-knights, they need to special summon a level 5 or higher monster. So if you can resolve Crimson Blader, you should be in a very good position. Vermilion Dragon Mech will allow you to target a card on the field and destroy it. When you have an awkward hand, like you have a Psychic Jumper and a Red Moon, and you try to use jumper to switch a monster of theirs and they negate it, then you go on ahead into your Vermilion Mekk and pop one of their cards anyways. Baron de Fleur, really I'm not going to spend any time talking about that. The P.u.n.k Synchro, P.u.n.k Amazing Dragon, once it hits the board, you have the option to return cards your opponent controls up to the number of level 3 psychic monsters with different names I control or in my graveyard. So each of the punks I play, that's 4 different punks if I've gone through the entire family of them all. So I can bounce anywhere from 1 to 4 cards on my opponent's hand. If it's still on the board during the next turn, I can target a P.u.n.k monster in my graveyard except for another copy of itself and special summon it. You can only use one of them, so obviously when it first comes out you're probably bouncing, then in other turns you're returning. Big Eye lets me steal another one of my opponent's monsters, really strong card. Then Gearsu allows me to either send non-target send a card from my opponent's field to the graveyard, or I get to attack one of my banished machine monsters. So it can be an Orcus, it can be a World Legacy, or it can even be the Mekk-knight Morningstar. You can attach to this card, and its detach effect, it protects cards from being destroyed by detaching a card. So it's very strong in that regard. Link Spider, obviously everyone knows what Link Spider does, but its importance is it is a normal monster. It's a Link monster that I can use with my token from Gearsu. Mekk-knight Morningstar, very underrated card, and it's not ever fully read. No one ever reads it. It can only be destroyed if someone puts a monster in its same column and attacks it. Nobody does that. Also, I can ditch a World Legacy or Mekk-knight monster or World Legacy card and add another World Legacy card from my deck to my hand. Crazy combos if you happen to have a World Legacy World Wand in your hand that can get you a 2500 beater on the board with a search for another World Legacy card. Galatea lets you search for your Babel, your field spell first, and then after you do that, it lets you search for your return so you can get your Pot of Greed. IP Masquerena is a very strong link to. Lets you link on your opponent's turn, and it prevents your link monster from being destroyed by by damage. Everybody knows its importance. Lib, everyone knows how strong it is too. However, we'll just go over it. It is basically a free link summon. Just get a World Legacy in the grave. Then you can set a World Legacy spell or trap from your deck every single turn. If you have a World Legacy monster, then you can activate it that turn. And then when you use it as a link material, you get to non-target shuffle one card in the field back into the deck. Blackluster Soldier of Chaos, a 3000 beater for any 3 monsters, and then if you use a level 7 or higher, it cannot be targeted nor destroyed by card effects. And it can non-target banish a card on the field. It can attack twice if you choose that effect for the next turn. And it can gain 1500. So it can be a 45 or 6000 attack power monster that cannot be destroyed or targeted by card effects. Boros Sword can't be destroyed by battle. If you create it with Masquerena, which I do in one of the plays, it's almost unbeatable. You have to negate it and then attack over it with with battle. It's absolutely outrageous. If its effect is not negated, it's going to cut your damage in half when I attack. And if you attack with anything that's not a link monster, I'm just going to turn it to defense mode. And then even if you do attack, it can't be destroyed by battle. So at least if its effect isn't negated, it's an extremely strong card. And then Avermax, everything I just said about Boral Sword, let's just apply it to Avermax, except if Avermax is attacked, I still get to increase its attack as long as the monster that attacks it is a special summon monster. Then, if you do get over it and get it to the graveyard, I get to non-target shuffle a card from your field into your deck. So this is the deck that I've been playing, and it's actually been amazing so far in this event. I've gone 14-2, and it's extremely consistent. Almost every card searches out the other card, or it lets me get something back from the grave. The only luck cards that I have, quote unquote, are the staples, the Raigeki and Lightning Storms and Dark Ruler No Mores. Everything else, and or the hand traps, the maxis, the ash blossoms, everything else, once one of the effects gets through, it helps me get to another one. Once I get a scrap recycler, I get a harper. When I get a harper, I get a Gearsu. A Gearsu gets me, whatever. Once I have any the punk Xiamen, I get the Foxy Tune. The Foxy Tune sends out and special summons the fusion one. It's a pretty cool deck, and if you guys have any extra time, go ahead and try it out. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos that's going to be in the next video, or the duels that's going to be in the next video. Alright guys, enjoy.